It's time to talk about the important issues for the natural state. And there's only one place to turn for that. Opportunity Arkansas's Nic Horton. You can find Nic's work at opportunityarkansas.org.
And good Wednesday morning to you, 20 minutes in front of 8 o'clock, which means it's time for us to visit with Nic Horton, the founder and CEO of Opportunity Arkansas. Nic, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, it's good to be with you. It feels like it's been a while. It's been like 7 days, Toby.
Darn near. In fact, actually, right on the money. It was exactly this time last week. So, yeah,
Too long.
You are correct.
Let's not go so long next time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Got a press release in my inbox yesterday, Nic, from Opportunity Arkansas to announce the relaunch of the 4AR Families Coalition. So, one, obviously, this has been around before, but can you explain what this is and why it's necessary to relaunch this right now?
Well, this is really big news, and I wish it wasn't necessary, frankly, Toby, to relaunch this campaign, but we are relaunching because the other side, the opponents of education freedom, the opponents of our Constitution, frankly, the opponents of keeping taxes low and keeping family budgets on a reasonable path, have relaunched their efforts to bring back what they call the, quote, Educational Rights Amendment of now 2026. And I have to caveat all of that because this is the exact same amendment from 2024. So it's the exact same failed ideas. It's the exact same new universal Mamdani-style welfare expansions and universal welfare programs that it would create. Those programs have no pay-for mechanisms. Not only do they have no pay-for mechanisms, Toby, but the proponents of this amendment, who've had 3 years, they've been pushing this thing, drafting it, getting signatures, running their mouths in the media, doing all of these things. In 3 years' time, they have still not proposed or published, I should say, a single cost estimate to tell the people of Arkansas how much their wish list, their liberal wish list, is going to take out of their pockets and out of their family budgets. It really is crazy. You had 3 years. And it's a wonderful idea, Toby, we're told. It's It's gonna put a chicken in every pot, and it's gonna improve education, and it's gonna finally bring us into the new dawn, the new golden age of Arkansas. But don't ask us how much it's gonna cost because we don't know or we won't tell you.
That's besides the point, Nic. Who cares if we spend all the taxpayer money?
Yes, totally erroneous. Just vote for it and trust us.
Please.
You got to pass it so you can find out what's in it. There was a famous politician from California, I believe, Nancy Pelosi, that said that about Obamacare one time.
That's right.
And so so this campaign, just in a nutshell, what this is about is this is about making sure Arkansans have the truth. Because the other side, the teachers union, the folks, the rabble-rousers that are pushing this, that have been pushing it for 3 years now, they're not going to tell the truth. They have failed to tell the truth for 3 years. They're not going to explain the costs. They're not going to explain the real implications on education freedom. They're not going to explain the real implications for religious liberty and the way that this would bring government regulations into private schools and really proposes a takeover of private schools in a really serious way. And so this coalition with Opportunity Arkansas, the Arkansas Reform Alliance, and also Arkansas Learns, that's what we're all about. We're going to make sure Arkansans have the truth, and we're going to make sure that when they go to the store, they go to the farmer's market, they go to the library, and somebody sticks a petition in their face and says, sign this, it's good for Arkansas, it's good for kids, we're going to make sure that they have the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Oops, sorry, Nic, I turned my mic off. But as far as finding this, is there a website, or do we just go to opportunityarkansas.org? Where's the location that we need to go to obviously keep up with what the coalition's doing? Obviously, there's going to be people that want to support what the coalition is doing. And so how do people find it?
So 4arfamilies.com, 4arfamilies.com is going to be where people can go and they can read the amendment. They can read our analysis of the amendment. They can see some videos and other things that we're going to be putting out. Right now, you'll just see a splash page. We're kind of trickling out some of the components of the campaign, but folks can go to 4arfamilies.com and sign up for the email list and stay up to date with what we're doing there.
Well, and obviously, when you visit us on Wednesdays, we'll always be keeping up with what the coalition's doing. That'll be part of what we talk about each week moving forward. So looking forward to what will come from that. Another couple things I wanted to get to, Nick, especially we're getting into the end of the fiscal session. Sounds like the state government wants to spend $300 million of our tax dollars for an unnamed company. We don't know who it is in West Memphis. It's not the data center project with Google. That's what I thought it was out of the gates, but it's not. It's something else. And so tell me what you think on just on the front here of taking $300 million of the surplus money for a project like this. Is this, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of operating under the cover of darkness, but tell me how you feel about this and what we're hearing about what this $300 million is going to do.
I think it's awful. I think it's horrible. I think it's extremely disrespectful to the hardworking taxpayers of Arkansas. I think, frankly, Toby, it's a slap in the face to Arkansas-based businesses and job creators who have been working in our state and investing in our state and our people for generations, that we would say, hey, we know you pay all these taxes and deal with all this red tape and all this government regulations and hire people and give them health insurance and retirement benefits and invest in our state literally every single day, but we're going to take some of that from you and we're going to keep it. And in fact, we're going to not just keep it, but we're going to give it to another company that we think is more deserving. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we're not going to tell you who that company is. We're not going to tell you exactly how much money they're going to get or exactly what the rules are going to be or the restrictions of the clawbacks, but you're just going to have to trust us. And we're going to take that money and we're going to use it as we see fit, because we think we as government can spend this money better than you can.
Yeah.
And to me, it's really that simple. Anytime we've written and talked a lot about what we call the Hollywood handout, the film tax credit incentives, a similar type of program where we take money from hardworking taxpayers and government takes it and gives it to someone that they think is more deserving. And I think that's morally wrong. I think it's offensive. Again, I truly think this is a slap in the face to the job creators and the people who've been working for so many years to create good paying jobs and invest in Arkansas, that, well, there's another company that needs it more, and we don't know who they are. We don't know where they're from. They might be from China. They might be from Japan. They might be from Texas. We have no idea, but you just have to trust us. And so there's obviously, as you said, such a lack of transparency about it. And, these programs, these policies, just so often, these types of investments, I should say, go wrong. We have dozens and dozens of examples of this from over the years. I always think of HP, Hewlett Packard here in Conway, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, got hundreds of, thousands and actually 10 million in cash, I believe, but millions and millions of dollars of incentives from taxpayers to create hundreds and hundreds of jobs. They don't exist anymore. They don't, that their presence in Conway is non-existent now. And so this money, politicians take it from us. They give it to people that they think are more deserving. It very often does not work out. And then guess what? We all just move on, and we're all just told to kind of look the other way.
Nothing
and in
to see
6
here.
months, when the next project pops up, well, don't worry, guys, it's going to be different this time. We promise. We're going to really make sure it's really good. And some of us remember. Some of us remember those lessons and those times where it doesn't work out. And frankly, this is just not the role of government.
So taking this from another angle, looking at maybe more of a solution type for this, lawmakers, including the House Speaker Brian Evans, they've said that the project would create 4,000 jobs initially, add another 2,000 jobs when it's completed. And those are good numbers, Nick. I mean, nobody's gonna say, hey, adding 6,000 jobs to our state's a bad deal. But how should we, as tax-paying citizens, how should we want to see something like a project like this funded? What's the right solution? I mean, this should be privately funded to get something like this done, or do you tax voters? That are just, do you let the people in that county vote that maybe they want those jobs coming into their county, and so therefore they will vote on it and pay more taxes to get that? I mean, what is the solution to get something like this done, as opposed to just blindly taking taxpayer money, not telling us what the company is, and saying, hey, no, it's all going to work out great, like you've been talking about? What is the right way to go about this?
Yeah, I mean, a huge part of the problem with the way this is all structured and the way this always plays out is one side has the ball and one side knows. So the speaker, whoever it is that's involved in the Economic Development Commission, whatever, they're involved in these negotiations. So they have all this information, and they can say, oh, 4,000 jobs plus another 2,000 jobs plus another $100 million for every Arkansas. I mean, they can say whatever they want to say, and the opponents and the people who are on the side of, frankly, taxpayers don't have any good information to counter that, because this is just this black box of information, and we're all just sort of expected to trust them. And if we don't trust them, then, we're bad people, and we're questioning motives, and, and all these things. The short answer to your question is give it back to taxpayers. I mean, we only ever look in these debates at one side of the equation. So someone says 4,000 jobs, and if you're not for it, well, you're against jobs.
Right.
Well, what if, Toby, we just got rid of the state income tax that like state politicians have been saying they want to do for the last 5, 6, 7 years? What if we put 3.9% as our top rate now? What if all of that money, hundreds of millions of dollars, over $1 billion a year, was invested back in our local economies, and local job creators could spend that money how they see best, and they could hire, and they could expand their facilities, and they could pay their bills more easily? I mean, we don't ever look at that side of the equation. We just say, oh, 4,000 jobs, let's take this money and give it to them. We're talking about $300 million. We're talking about several tenths, half a point that could come off the personal income tax in the equivalent of that amount of money. We don't ever think about how much better that money could be spent if it wasn't taken out of the economy in the first place, given to government where it sits and it's not doing anything for the people of Arkansas, and then it's redistributed out to someone else. So the short answer is let people keep their money, and they will do a better job with it than government can.
Is this
and also I'll say, well, this company getting $300 million, I feel pretty confident. We don't know who it is. We can't say who it is. But I'm pretty sure it's not like Jim Bob's tire shop down the road, right?
No, this isn't going to be a locally owned and operated situation.
This is some sort of mega big corporation, Toyota, whatever, whoever it is. Why do they need our money?
Yeah.
Why do they need my money and your money and the hardworking families and taxpayers of Arkansas's money if it's that much? Oh, they're going to create 4,000 jobs. That probably means they already employ a couple 100,000 people, if not more. So it seems like a drop in the bucket to a company of this size, and yet to the people of Arkansas and our state, it's really, really significant.
Yeah, well, and then this company X, they'll turn out their their latest earnings report with the $500 million that they made last year in profit, even though they need $300 million of our tax money. Is this approved, Nick? Is this all part of the fiscal session? This is happening as soon as the governor signs this?
Yes, I believe it cleared the final hurdle in the state Senate yesterday. So now the project itself, I don't think we know. I mean, I don't think there's any guarantee of that's the other thing about this, Toby. Allocate the money, give it to the Economic Development Commission. We hope it works out. From what I understand, there is no guarantee that the project actually works out.
Right.
Obviously their argument is, well, it's definitely not going to work out if we don't have the funds to offer. But I think if I had to guess, whatever this project is, they're negotiating, they're leveraging this with several other states as well, and it's a bit of a bidding war. And so I don't think we'll know for some time with any certainty if the project's actually happening.
Okay. Well, we're obviously going to keep tabs on this as this moves forward. End of the fiscal session is supposed to end today, from what I'm hearing. Is that what you're hearing? And then apparently we'll hear an announcement about a special session then soon?
Yeah, it seems like they're wrapping up here in the next few days, and then yes, we are. We're optimistic that there's still going to be a special session. Now that we've spent a bunch of money, we're going to figure out what's left and figure out what we can give back.
Here's
the
tidbit, people. Here's your piece of cheese.
That's right. But I will say, just to put this in context, we're talking about this $300 million super project. The conversation about the tax cuts has been around 185 million, and that I think is really important point to just hammer here, that we're giving $300 million worth of benefits and cash potentially to this super project company. Taxpayers are going to get hardly half of that back in these new round of income tax cuts. And as you know, and your listeners know, they didn't get any tax cuts other than the grocery tax, but no income tax cuts in 2025. And I just think that's wrong. I think the sequencing of it is wrong. I think the optics of it are wrong. I think the policy of it is wrong. We should be putting taxpayers first at the front of the line, and we should be spending every penny that we're giving to one company back to the taxpayers of Arkansas through income tax relief. That just seems really, really clear to me, and that's unfortunately not what we're doing. So we are still optimistic that there are going to be some income tax cuts that happen in the special session over the next week and a half. But it's not enough, and we're not being aggressive enough.
Yeah, well, we'll cross our fingers. Like you said, it's not going to be enough, but anything is a good start, even though it won't be what it should be. But opportunityarkansas.org, that is the website. That's where you follow Nick and his staff that do all the good work at Opportunity Arkansas. And of course, I'll be following the AR Families Coalition, which is relaunching as well, and their website. But Nick, always appreciate the information, and we'll talk to you next week. See if we're talking about maybe a special session coming up.
I hope so. All right. Talk to you then.